Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Big Finish Fans. In today's Big Finish Fans, we are celebrating Dalek Universe in a retrospect because today is the 2-year anniversary since Dalek Universe 1 dropped in our accounts.
We were going to do a little special intro here with a voice modulator and have Ben do a Dalek voice, but it all fell through, I'm afraid, so you just get the usual stuff.
Yeah, our budget can only go so far.
Yeah. We can maybe get a toothbrush in our mouths for a Cyberman special.
Yeah.
Like the electronic larynx cheap version.
That's on a budget, yeah. That's as far as we can stretch at the minute.
How have you been anyway?
I've been all right. Been working and watching Bad Batch, really, and just enjoying Star Wars Celebration. I know on a Doctor Who stream we're talking about Star Wars, but hey, this is how we roll.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. And Mando, of course.
Mando. What an episode. What an episode.
One more left now. It's weird how quickly it's gone. Like, we're already at the end of season 3.
And I feel like we're just getting into it now. Like, no, why are you ending now?
Oh, dear. But yeah, at least we don't have too long to wait till Ahsoka, though.
That is true. Got a date for that now.
Yeah. Well, month at least.
Mm.
But it's what we get from Big Finish, so...
Yeah. We're used to it. At this point.
Yeah. I think, have we got any more May dates? Because we had the Once and Future one. But I don't know if they've come along and said anything more like Lost Stories or something.
No, they haven't yet.
Sure
we have the final cast details for the arc.
Yeah.
But that's not out until June, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the June one. I mean, we've still not got a trailer for the first one. I wonder how they'll do the trailer for that, since it's... Will it just be the standard trailer just from episode 1, or will they try and include other stuff in there to show that this isn't the usual Lost Story?
I imagine it will be like an audio novel.
Yeah, that would work, just like a little excerpt.
Just something like that.
Yeah, get a taste for Nick Briggs' narration, and then a little scene with Tom, Sadie, and Chris, I suppose.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, one little detail I noticed from the arc cast details is that we seem to have a Viva rather than a Vira.
Right.
In the cast, played by Yasmin Mwanza. So they're sort of going back to that original idea that I think it was Robert Holmes's idea to have a black woman playing Vira.
Okay.
Right, to really go into the racial diversity on the arc, the idea that in the future, because you have that speech of Tom saying all colours, all creeds, all differences finally forgotten, and then it's just a bunch of white, mainly male characters surrounding Fourth Doctor, Sarah and Harry in the original story. So, I mean, it's not like Big Finish isn't always that way with its casting, and often because it's audio, you don't pick up on it.
Yeah. Unless it's like behind the scenes photos or something of the release.
But yeah, so it was nice noticing that in the cast, thinking, that's... I mean, it might not even be intentional. They might just think, she's a good actor. She could play this role, which, I mean, she is a good actor anyway. She's been in a couple of other releases. But yeah, it's just nice to, either by design or by accident, it's worked out with Robert Holmes's original vision, even though this isn't Robert Holmes's original take. This is the version before he got his grubby little protuberances on it and remade it from John Lucarotti's arc. But yeah, it's just a nice little bit of full circle, I suppose.
Yeah,
and it's the one I'm more interested in of the two, which sort of, it feels easy
to get into, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just worried that with the Genesis of Terror, you're going to be into it. It's going to end, and you're like, oh, well, there's no more now, really.
But you'd be like, well, at least it's got a really good cover.
Good stuff.
And then I guess it's just waiting what the next set of Lost Stories will be after that.
I mean, we got a little tease from Stephen Noonan, didn't we?
We did.
Or potential to. It might just be that he's as eager as us to see this come about.
Well, it's been mentioned on the Big Finish podcast before.
Yeah, I swear it was a long... Like, we've been hearing about this since before Stephen Noonan was even cast.
Mm.
Because we were sort of wondering, would they do David Bradley or
I
and
think it
Fraser
was
Hines?
2021, wasn't it? Which
Yeah,
is quite fitting for this stream because we're looking back at a big release of 2021.
Yes, Stephen Noonan's comment read, "The Three Doctors. Now, wouldn't it be a really good idea to do the original Bob and Dave conception of that story?"
Yes,
So,
yes, it would.
Yes, it would. Could be. Maybe he knows something there, or maybe he, like us, just thinks it would be good to actually
Yeah,
have that be done. Get the first Doctor in the action proper, and Jamie as well.
I mean that's a day one pre-order right there. You know.
I wonder if that'll be like part of a pairing, or if it's just going to be its own thing, like Mind of the Hodiak was. Could we get another third Doctor Lost story squeezed alongside it?
I mean, it would have been lovely if it is in the works. This is all hypothetical. If it was released last year, then it would have been like the 50th really for it.
50 years since. Yeah, it would have been great because it's like December, isn't it? Right at the end of.
Like that would have been a great time to release it and experience it. But you know,
I mean, if they did have plans, I wonder if perhaps the passing of Bob Baker maybe knocked them back a bit. Not cancelled it, but just meant they had to jump through some hole, get it further.
Yeah,
jump through some hoops rather.
Yeah.
Stylish one coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Doctor Who Lost Stories, Doctor Who and the Giant Robot, starring Tim Trelaw, and the Sontaran Experiment, starring Dan Starkey. Yeah, that'd be the complete.
We might as well get the full set at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing the original season 12, you've got to throw in Doctor Who and the Loch Ness Monster as well.
Yeah,
because that was going to be 6 parts, the finale, wasn't it? And then when they mixed things up a bit, it got pushed forward as a 4-parter at the start of season 13, with more focus on the Zygons. And I mean, I wonder if they do have those original scripts, because it's Robert Banks Stewart, isn't it? And they got his stuff for Foe from the Future. So who knows?
I mean, if it happened like summer last year, probably not, because all of the Robert Banks Stewart audios went off the website.
Yeah, that was a weird time.
Yeah,
like no comment on it whatsoever.
Yeah, it was strange, really.
I suppose they just had to rework something there, but Lost Stories are just season 12.2 at this point. Let's be honest. You are sadly right. Hooping a small collection. It'd be nice to expand out from that. Yeah,
they're really good. I like Return a lot.
Yeah, it's good fun, that one. How we diddly doing? Says the Hooping a Small Collection. We are both doing all right.
We're doing all right. We're here for our usual Friday waffle of Doctor Who.
Daniel Hager, the Fifth Doctor fan, said, "Hi guys, back at 5 o'clock before we were live." But if you're here now, lurking around, Daniel, or you're just listening to this on rewatch, watching this on rewatch, but we always say listening because often it is just. I mean, especially when neither of us have the cams on.
Yeah,
it's more of a podcast.
I always think of these as podcasts. You know.
Yeah. I mean, we have visual elements at times, like when we talk about cover reveals and such, or do tier lists. We got one of those tonight, so. But yeah, for the largest chunk of this, it's more of a listening experience rather than a visual one. You can click off the tab, go do other things if you want.
Yeah, something to have
us in the background.
Do your jobs really, and we're just there to keep you company. You know, if you're doing the ironing or you're washing, we're here.
Yeah, we try our best. And we thank you all for coming here, tuning in, and keeping us company as well.
Yeah. And likewise, lurkers. Hello, lurkers. You don't have to be active in the chat. We appreciate everyone joining us on this fine Friday. I'd love some Big Finish Lost Stories. Like, imagine if they made 50-50.
Is that the original plan for like a 7th and 8th Doctor crossover? Or is that something different? I'm thinking.
I think it might be. But yeah, it'd be interesting that, really.
I suppose sometimes there's reasons why they don't get around to it. I mean, the one I most would like, and I think you might agree with me here, is the War Master Witch Hunter
Yes.
General
Yeah, I'm with you
box
there.
set that we didn't get as part of Volume 3.
Yeah, especially when you think Volume 3 is all right, but I'm way more down with that premise for the Witch Finder stuff.
Yeah, just thinking about what that cover could look like is very exciting.
Jacoby with like the big pointy, hat. Great.
I mean, if they were to do it now as well, we've got Sean Longmore doing the War Master covers. He could work some magic with that.
Oh, yeah, especially with like the creatures of it.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Sean Longmore covers, shall we take a look at the recent Fourth Doctor reveals?
Oh, go on with a segue like
Set
that.
that one up, didn't I?
It'd be rude not to.
Oh, here we go.
Because we were spoiled, really. So we thought we'd just get the one cover. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, did they put out 2 at the same time, and then a third one just a bit after?
I think it was like half an hour intervals.
Ah, I see. But, I mean, these are all from the next Fourth Doctor box sets. Angels and Demons, that's it.
Out in June.
Yeah, that's right. And interestingly, we got Sean Longmore taking over from Ryan Aplin, yeah. But possibly only on a temporary basis, because Ryan's still done the main cover, and it seems he's going to be doing the cover for The Ghost of Margaret, the only individual story we haven't got a cover for.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what is in store for the future of the Fourth Doctor Adventure series. But I think either way, Sean Longmore or Ryan Aplin, it's in good hands.
Yeah, great cover artist.
Yeah, I think Sean Longmore in particular really suits the Hinchcliffe era style, and you can very much see that with these covers. I mean, if we just flick through, there's the Friendly Invasion, that very much gives off a Hinchcliffe vibe.
Very Android Invasion, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's even like the same Tom, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think that's what's quite refreshing about this series of covers. I know that it's not a new thing, but we don't normally get like the Seeds of Doom season 13 sort of Tom really on a cover.
I think it's taken inspiration from that main cover as well, because that had this version of Tom on it, and then there you go, there he is again for Stone Cold. But I mean, Wizard of Time first. I mentioned to you this has a Kingmaker vibe to it.
Yes, it really does. With like the author on there, it just was like a bit of a wacky one. I like the concept of having Leela smile because we never really get that. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice seeing a new side of her on covers, I suppose, because usually it's an action pose, or just a generic serious pose. Yeah, I think she's smiling on. Yeah, she's got a bit of a smirk there on Stone Cold as well. It's a nice, almost new series vibe that with Stone Cold, like the companion looking at the Doctor with a bit of a smirk.
And I like it that it's not Margaret in a bubble, but they're actually using the Veneris promo stuff to the advantage, really.
Yeah, she's worked in very well here as part of the trio, because sometimes when you have like a new companion and so you take a new photo, it's like we had with Mark for the Fifth Doctor, Tegan and Nyssa stuff.
And the Fifth Traveller, I'd say, with James Joyce.
Oh, that one's very obvious, isn't it? Yeah, you have those times where it's a bit obvious that they are new pictures and sort of joining with the older pictures of the cast. But no, here I think she's worked in very well. But yeah, Wizard of Time, this one's now your most excited one for, isn't it? The one you're most looking forward to.
Yeah, because it just was very Hinchcliffe with like the the werewolf. It just feels like it fits the era. Like you can imagine it sort of being like a cold, autumn tale.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like
I
a
think
story running up to Halloween. It has that sort
yeah,
of feel for it for me.
maybe a similar vibe to what's third story from Crooked Man. That's it.
Yes.
Maybe a similar vibe to that, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned last week about Jason Harmer, or Jacob Harmer, sorry, who is the writer focused on in this story. And we were sort of saying, well, at least I was saying, oh, I don't know who that is. I haven't heard of them. But turns out they're fictional.
That's probably why.
Yeah, it will make sense. They are an invention
We
of
will
Lord
in
Neil
June. You'll be
Gaiman.
like, yeah, of course we know.
Yeah, it'll be like the Mandela effect. We'll all think they were real, but actually,
They're not.
Yeah. And sort of made obvious by you've got Dirk Forever there as the title, and then a fleece box on the cover. That gives it away. But yeah, what is Dirk Forever? And I can't quite read what that one says.
No, I can't quite see.
Let's open up another one and zoom in on it. Because if I open up that one and zoom in, it'll ruin. I'll lose the other photos. Things we do.
The things we do, the research.
You got to pay attention to the details. Oh, and the Spell of Winter. That's what it's called.
Ah, there we go.
It's there. Fits with your almost fits with the autumnal vibe you were going for.
Yeah.
It's close. Just a couple of months out.
I mean, you could save it and listen to it in winter. I doubt it because we need to do a stream on it.
Yeah, I feel also we're too excited for this one, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're good enough, I'm sure we'll go back to them around the right time of year.
Yeah.
Like if we have that for a couple of stories, don't we, that we really like, we sort of think, I'll save that and listen to it again around the right time of year.
Yeah, there are a few.
Yeah, certainly Better Watch Out and Fairy Tale of Salzburg jumps out as one.
That's become a tradition now, that.
I mean, is it the 5th of December or 6th?
5th or 6th, I think.
Yeah. But here we go. Friendly Invasion is the one I'm most looking forward to at the moment. And people have been pointing out the Clara model on the cover there. It all works out quite well. I think it's always nice having Leela in different costumes because you're so used to the standard one.
Evil Dan's there. It's cool.
Apparently, it's just a generic image. Someone asked him, and he said, "No, it's not Evil Dan." But I would have used Dan if I'd realised. I mean, love my World War II stories. Could never get enough of them. It's probably an era that is quite overdone at Big Finish, but I don't think I'll ever tire of it.
They just get it so right,
I mean, Chris Chapman, this isn't even his first foray into, or it might be his first foray into World War II chronologically.
I think Scorched Earth was the one he wrote after this one.
Yeah, but obviously we got that one way before this.
3 years ago now.
Yeah, it will. But I mean, it'll be 3 years before this box set comes out. Will be the month where we didn't get a monthly range release because Lovecraft Invasion got pushed back, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was an empty June. And Stone Cold, Weeping Angels and Fourth Doctor. It just feels like it'd be perfect for Hinchcliffe vibes.
It just feels like the dream series, what we've all been wanting. Like it's a nice sort of cross having a new series monster in a range of a classic Doctor of it not being a classic Doctor of New Monsters.
Yeah, hopefully this will be a very classic feeling story, just with the Weeping Angels worked in. And of the new series, they're certainly the most iconic monster, original monster. So it's nice to see them face the Fourth Doctor now, or hear them rather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a marriage that works so well.
They really do fit. And I think Weeping Angels just feel very evergreen for Doctor Who anyway. Like, I don't think they'd stand out as wrong in any era. That's what we have to look forward to in June.
Yeah, all good stuff.
Yeah, that was all for news, really, wasn't it? We had a Ninth Doctor trailer, but there's not really
Not
much
much
to
you
say
can
about that
say.
one.
It just felt same old, same old. Eccleston's doing Big Finish. Hurrah!
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know our own particular problems with that, we've shared them a couple of times before. We got that whole Ninth Doctor Series 2 stream. We didn't know a Series 3 was incoming then.
Yeah.
It's odd how quickly this has come around.
It just was like, yeah, you said goodbye. Oh wait, there's more coming.
Yeah, but it's not like a sweet and sorrowful goodbye and then hooray, he's back already. It's more of a you're back already.
Oh, I wanted to miss you first.
Yeah, I wanted to build up that. Oh well.
We'll see.
Oh, Joe Bowers. Hi guys. Hi Joe. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Thanks for joining.
Sidesworm says, hopefully it's a similar quality and craziness as Kingmaker. Watch the writer switch places with a famous historical figure, and then we get more John Coleshaw Fourth Doctor, just to really make the homage more obvious.
I mean, there is a bit more news to cover, actually.
Oh, is there?
This is somewhat hot off the press.
Oh,
I mean, watch Luke constantly refresh Twitter now just to see if he can find it.
Yeah, I've just gone for a look.
It's literally just about that there are fewer than 300 special edition CD bundles remaining for Once and Future. So if you want your limited edition Once and Future, now's the time to get it while they're still there, because 90% have sold.
Oh, that's interesting. The image they're using there has like special edition written on the cover.
Oh yeah, it does.
But that's not on the website, so I wonder if that'll be on the physical.
I hope so.
Yeah, it feels like it will be. But there we go. Stylish one says, so this is how individual covers die, with thunderous applause. They're going out on a high, at least. I mean, at least for the Fourth Doctor, we're still getting them with the Ninth Doctor for an extra 10 quid worth.
We'll see if it's worth that.
Yeah, I don't know if it is worth it.
We'll see.
Neris Hughes is getting better use on the cover than Hebe in her one picture. It's a stylish one.
Hey, Ruth Madeley is milking that headshot.
Hebe being iconic with one picture, says Hoovian with a small collection. Also, I'm not officially halfway through 2017 Big Finish, not listened to much this week, so says Hebe with a small collection. Yeah, have you had a bit of a week off Big Finish, Ben?
Can I make a confession?
Go for it.
I've not listened to any Big Finish since Sunday.
Oh. I finished the Dead Star. And that's
all
about
7
it
hours.
All 7 hours. I had 2 parts to go because I got through 4 of them, and then I realised, I've got to listen to Conflicts of Interest now for Sunday.
Yeah.
So I had to put Dead Star on the back burner a bit, but got back to it and finished it. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that in its own video at some point, won't we? The audio novels.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's really taken my fancy, so I'm just kind of, exploring other things.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Bad Batch will be done soon, and then you can start the robots.
Do you know what? Yesterday, I was so tempted to start it.
What stopped you?
I don't know. I really don't know. I was just in the mood going, I really should start the robots now, because I was like, everyone was talking about it on Twitter. And I was like, I'm getting FOMO. This is bad.
Yeah. I need to pick up that box set, actually.
I need to
I saw-
listen to it, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an honor tier list to do then.
That'd be nice because the robots, doesn't get much coverage.
Yeah. I've been so used to recently just going into my account and getting the new release, like with all the bundling I've been doing. And so I went into my account yesterday and went, oh wait, I haven't bought this yet. So
You're like, damn, I've got to spend money again.
God, the pain. Stylish one. I've been making my way through season 9 by listening to the Cursed Paladin narrated soundtrack before watching it for the first time. It's an interesting choice there.
I mean, each their own.
Joe Bauer says, I don't know if it's been mentioned before I joined, but I get Android Invasion vibes off the Friendly Invasion cover. Yeah, you're not the only one, Jay.
Yeah,
it does give off that vibe. In fact, as I was typing, I realized they both sound similar. Yeah, I wonder how much of it intentional and how much of it is just a coincidence.
I mean, it's not the first time the Fourth Doctor Adventures have literally probably done beat for beat similar story. Looking at you, Blood of a Time Lords.
Yeah. Yeah, but this does give off a different vibe to it at the same time. It's just got that same aesthetic of it being, sleepy little English village. And I mean, the costume for Tom as well sort of leans into it. You got a pub. But Android Invasion didn't have Evil Dan and his flaming hands. So.
Nobody needs soup more than me.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll do its own thing. I hope we get cleaning robots in an upcoming Doctor Audio, just so we could get more of that banging bop of a theme tune to Stylish one. They were in Psychic Circus, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, had a little cameo in there. Yeah, I wonder if they'd just be exclusive to Paradise Towers, or if they can sort of do like what they did with the Daleks, where it's very obvious that they were just created for that one first story.
Yeah.
But then are just expanded out beyond that to ridiculous measure.
They get their own spin-off. That's the new robot spin-off coming up.
Cleaning Robot Universe.
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Cleaning Robot Universe, should we talk about Dalek Universe now?
Yeah, let's talk about Dalek Universe. Should we talk about the sort of the build-up and the announcement and all that going into it?
Yeah, might as well. Seems like a good place to start.
It's a celebration of it,
Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know, it is exactly 2 years since the Dalek Universe 1 box set dropped. And 2 years and 1 day since the Dalek Protocol dropped.
I guess we can talk about that as well.
Yeah, get that brief little mention too. And I suppose maybe the River Song story as well. Because that feeds into it a little bit. Although that never seemed to go anywhere, but we can discuss that in a minute first.
Yeah.
It's all like, do you remember where you were for the announcement? It's like, do you remember where you were when Princess Diana died?
I do remember. Because it was literally my last week of like the holiday before I started my second year at uni.
Oh yeah, it was. Was it September or August?
It was September 2020. So going back, the month before we had Eccleston. Wild. You think what else can top that? We get this trailer and it's blows your mind.
And just the announcement of 3 box sets.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were loading up the trailer then for a second. I thought that was
no.
Probably should have saved that. That would have been good.
That would have been a good little thing to have to do. But it was such a good trailer, and I think what was so exciting is we were a big fan of the adventure sets, but we wanted more from them. We wanted the 10th Doctor, much like how we feel with the Ninth Doctor at the minute, giving the character a sense of direction and purpose.
Yeah, and a new companion as well.
Yeah, like we touched base that we wanted, Ivy from Creeping Death.
Yeah, but we got it with the first Doctor instead in the form of
Yeah,
Pertwee.
Lauren Cornelius, yeah. So Dalek Universe, going into it, it felt like a bucket list release that somebody been looking at my Big Finish wish list and was like, "We're gonna give you that."
Yeah. I mean, I think if anything, this might have excited me more than the Ninth Doctor announcement. Possibly just because there were some details with it as well. Like Ninth Doctor announcement was literally just Christopher Eccleston's doing Big Finish, 4 box sets, have at it. Whereas
Yeah,
this, you had you had the trailer, of course, and also a tease of what would be going on with the story line. Not individual episode details, but there was a overarching look at where things could be going. I mean, yeah, there was like a tease for Daleks, Stavros, Movellans, Mechanoids. It was all there right at the start, wasn't it? They told us.
yeah. And I think watching that trailer back, you notice more little Easter eggs.
And I think, isn't that speech said right at the start of the first episode as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a nice little.
I think it's in. Is it the other woman?
Oh, is it? Is that where it works?
I don't know. It's definitely like the first two.
I think it's right at the start of Buying Time. It's like the pre-title sequence.
Oh yeah, it
Like
is.
same
Yeah,
music
you're
and
right.
everything.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then you sort of dive into Buying Time as a story after the credits.
I mean, I love the music in that trailer as well, when like the Dalek Blast has been remixed into the music. I was like, if that's like the theme tune for it, that gives it a really nice, unique identity. So it's kind of sad that it was just the standard like 2008 theme.
I think that music is still worked into the episodes, though, at
Yeah,
times. Yeah, it helps to give this range its own little identity. But and it's just something very different. It's nice that the 10th Doctor gets to be at the heart of that. I mean, in a way, it's a bit like Stranded, but not modern day. He's stranded in Terry Nation's own little universe. And should we talk about that?
yes, let's.
Some potentially deceiving title, but understandable deceiving title, because it's not just the Daleks universe. Like the Daleks, they are playing a big part towards the end, but a
They
lot of
feel
it is more.
earned when
Yeah.
you get to them. They feel like, oh yeah, we finally reached them now.
Yeah. I mean, certainly when it was first announced, I was expecting a 9 episode epic with Daleks like constantly there.
Yeah, a bit like a Dark Eyes type feel.
But instead, you end up with little teasers of the Daleks along the way. But it is much more about the world that Terry Nation built up. And so that's why you've got Mechanoids, Movellans in there as well. It's like every one of his creations just jammed together and sort of worked into one timeline in a way, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's sort of nice how things all tie together and you get answers to questions you didn't even know you had from back in the 70s and 60s.
It is very much let's put a new Doctor in Terra Nation's sandbox.
I think it's
let's
something
play
that
with it.
it's something that works very well for the vinyls as well, because those are split up into 2 half-hour parts for each episode. But it feels right because even though it's a new series Doctor, it is them in a classic series pre-Time War universe. So it doesn't feel wrong having them in 2-part stories when you listen to it on vinyl. And also vinyl is just a very retro thing. So having the 10th Doctor in this retro sort of 1960s view of the future works quite well also. But what are the vinyl edit cliffhangers and how do they work, Luke? some of them admittedly work better than others.
I think
I
that's with
think
most Big Finish vinyl releases.
Yeah, because they don't cut it off at a natural cliffhanger point. They cut it off at the end of a scene, and sometimes that scene works as a cliffhanger. Other times it doesn't. You do get some odd ones. I can't really remember that many of them, though. It's been a while since I've stuck on the vinyl edits of these. Yeah, I can definitely remember some of them being a bit awkward, and other times it works out all right. I don't think very rarely does it feel right. It just feels like it gets away with it okay, or it feels clunky. But yeah, you never went for the finals though, did you?
No,
You've still been tempted from time to time, but
yeah, when they keep going on sale, and I feel like if they go on sale soon, I probably will grab them.
I mean, it's sort of a surprise that all the vinyls are still kicking around.
Even Series 1 Ninth Doctor as well.
Yeah.
So I thought Ravages would have been gone by now.
Because that was very popular back when it first came out. But no, and I mean, now they've moved away from vinyl for Series 3 of the Ninth Doctor Adventures, so I wonder if maybe they aren't selling at all well for what they had hoped.
I mean, they must have done well to get a second series of Eccleston.
Yeah, I think maybe it was like initial sales shot through, but then they slowed down a bit because we didn't go for Series 2 on vinyl, did we?
No, we didn't know.
So I wonder if a lot of other people did the same. Like there was that mentality of this is all the Eccleston we're going to get. Chris is never going to come back after these 12. So we'll go for vinyl. Why not? We'll splash
Let's
out.
go premium. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he came back and he's come back again. And so, it feels like there's less of a need to keep them. And also, I've run out of space to store them, really. So
I think vinyls are kind of novelty.
Yeah.
Like, they're great to have, but they're like a thing you put on once in a while.
There's something special, and when you have too many of them, it takes away from that.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I was hoping that maybe we'd get something for the 60th on vinyl.
Yeah, you can like Once and Future would be a great thing, but my goodness, that would be expensive.
Hopefully some Tom Baker on vinyl for his 50th celebrations. I feel like that deserves it.
Yeah, Tom suits vinyl a lot. I think those are my favorite.
He likes being flattened and spun around for our entertainment.
Oh, it's wonderful stuff.
Time Controller says, I'm getting Dalek Universe for you without listening to the others. Is there any information from one of the other box sets that's crucial for this one? A fair bit of information.
Fair chunk.
I
feel like you're doing it. I don't want to sound like a salesperson, but I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by just getting that box set.
Yeah, there's certainly one big thing that I don't necessarily want to mention because it's quite big spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into spoilers eventually. And I mean, to be honest, you can sort of guess one of them because when you look at box set 1 and 2, there's someone or something on there that's not on volume 3.
And it was so difficult when we were talking about it when it first came out again. Yeah. Like how we try and skirt around it.
Mad how a certain story in Dalek Universe 2 is similar to a certain underrated Series 7 story. Oh, what one's that one? I'm trying to work out which ones are similar to which. I mean, going back quite a few points now, actually.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a field when Universe 3 was. I was doing a walk with a couple of friends, and so I was just walking through a giant wheat field. Open up my phone.
All right, Theresa May.
Tenants announced. Yeah.
Not getting political.
That's why I had to like dip back from him for a second just to process all this news.
Yeah, it just show you like I just get so buzzed thinking about this time in Big Finish history because
Mm,
I don't I think this might be the reason why I'm kind of in and out of like current Big Finish at the minute is because nothing has come close to how 2021 Big Finish was.
yeah. I think it's because we were gearing up for what life would look like after the monthly range. Like
And
we knew it was coming to an end now, and this was our first look at the big thing after the monthly range.
yeah,
You know?
and I think for our generation of fans, I always wanted the new series Doctors to be in the monthly range. Like, what if that was possible? And I think it was very much classic Doctors. You've had your time. You have a little rest, ready for your big debut in 2022. Let the new boys have a spin, and I think that was just really exciting to have 9 and 10 at the front and center at Big Finish at that time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, certainly it wouldn't have been possible without the pandemic,
Yes.
because that did force David Tennant to work from home. What's something you could do from home easily? Staged. What's something else you could do from home easily? Audio dramas.
Watch alongs will make you go, oh, I want to be the 14th Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's amazing. Yeah, but it's pandemic really did give us a lot of David Tennant content, not just on audio.
And I will defend that man because it's not his fault he's got a career. And stop being bitter that he's on the cover of everything. He's
It's not
good.
his fault we're getting one extra story in an anthology short story collection.
I will die on this hill.
Mm.
He is our childhood, and I will defend that man.
I can imagine Luke just standing there while massive hay bales roll past him because he's too distracted by his phone thanks to Big Finish. The question is, given when Dalek Protocol was recorded, what was the original Dalek Universe like? No Tenant, one box set a year? Yeah, they sort of spoke a little bit about that, didn't they?
Yeah.
That, I mean, originally Dalek Protocol was just going to be part of the ongoing Fourth Doctor Adventures, wasn't it? At some point. In a similar way to how Shadow of the Sun was written to be just part of like series 14, 15 or whatever, but ends up instead being its own special release, because it's one of the advantages of Fourth Doctor Adventures. A lot of the time you can easily just mix and match and it doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, series 11, you can listen to those in any order and you won't be confused.
Yeah.
Series 12 with Margaret coming along is a bit more important, but for the most part, these series work no matter what order they're in. There's very little connective tissue or references between them.
Apart from series 3, which I think benefits.
Yeah, that's got an arc, but not a traditional arc.
It's a character.
Yeah. It's really taking the character of Leela and doing something special with her. But yeah, I mean, 2 years ago we did that stream, didn't we?
Yeah.
Looking back on series 3.
And here we are doing Dalek Universe.
Yeah, was that just after or just before Dalek Universe dropped? I think it might be just after. Yeah. I mean, speaking of Fourth Doctor Adventures, that's where we also got introduced to Anne Kelso / Anya Kingdom.
Yeah, in series 8. So you didn't need to listen to that to get into Dalek Universe. It just kind of helped. It just gives you a bit more context and background, really.
Yeah, there's baggage there, isn't there? But
Yeah.
you can pick up on what's going on without having listened to those two box sets.
Because 10 and Anne aren't really on the same page.
No, certainly not when it starts. And I think a lot of the journey through, particularly the first two box sets, is them to learning to get along, because it's not your typical Doctor companion dynamic. Like, they do have to, they're not necessarily forced to work together, but it's not like the Doctor's invited her to join him aboard the TARDIS. It is a case of he's stranded in this time, and they are friends that he's made who can help him potentially get back to where he belongs. So he's sort of sticking with them for that.
I think the first two box sets each have a story dedicated to this team, which is really lovely.
Yeah, it's nice having character focused stuff like that. And I think it's something that's missing from, well, not just other Big Finish ranges, but TV series as well. Like, I think the 13th Doctor's era could have probably benefited from that a bit. Because even when you've got stories like Demons of the Punjab, it's not necessarily a Yaz story.
Yeah.
Like, she still doesn't have much to that. Whereas here, when you've got things like the House of Kingdom from this first box set, that is very much looking at and exploring Anne's past, her family history. And then at the start of the next box set, you've got Cycle of Destruction, which is about where Mark Seven's come from, played wonderfully by Joe Sims. He's
And
a
then
real joy from these sets.
Yeah, and then you get The Lost, which is exploring deeper things between the Doctor and Anne.
Yeah, I think it's nice that there's that difference between what you say and what you want to feel and what you actually feel. Because at the end of the second story, it seems like the Doctor and Anne have found a middle ground, but at the same time, when it comes to the Lost, there's stuff under the surface there that the 10th Doctor is working through. It's his brain versus his heart. He knows he should forgive Anya, but at the same time, he still feels these things because of what happened in the Fourth Doctor Adventures. So it's nice that deeper exploration of characters there and making them feel like real people rather than just two-dimensional characters.
I think you sort of hit the nail on the head before that Dalek Universe. It's a fun ride, and the stories are great. They're not the best Big Finish I've ever done, but it's a wild roller coaster, and it's a sum of its parts that make it really enjoyable.
It's how the jigsaw fits together, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I think while in Dalek Universe 3, that two-part finale, Dalek Defense and Triumph of Davros, is the best this series has to offer. I don't think it would be as good if you haven't listened to the lead up to it. For quite a few different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, going back a couple of points to this series inception, it was originally planned. They had ideas for this, like bringing back Anne and doing this adventure, but they weren't sure which Doctor to use. It was only late. It was only during the pandemic when they realised, we've got David Tennant around to record some things. Wouldn't he be the perfect Doctor for this? Which, it feels wrong thinking of any other Doctor being the Dalek Universe Doctor.
Because if anything, there's less distance with the classic Doctors, and there's a lot more baggage having the 10th Doctor, facing the time war, knowing and going back through all that to face it all again, really, on the sort of repercussions of it all.
Yeah. It also adds a nice comment on nostalgia as well, with it being the 10th Doctor.
Which has become a big thing in pop culture now, nostalgia. And I think Doctor Who, in terms of with Russell, he's tapping into that now by bringing back David and Catherine, Bernard and Jacqueline.
Yeah, the gang's all here.
Mm-hmm.
But very quickly about Russell, because we don't want to talk about TV too much, but it's nice how the characters have been allowed to grow off screen. It's not like, they've been brought out of their action figure boxes, dusted down, and put back on the screen as they were in 2008. Like, they have grown since then. Donna now seems to have a daughter and such. So, yeah, wonderful stuff. But Dalek Universe, yeah, I suppose if it was different Doctor, it would just be them trying to get back to the TARDIS, like
Yeah.
back in time wherever they've left it, rather than a whole like universe out of joint.
Yeah. I feel like it would have been Colin. Part of me just feels like,
Yeah.
it would be Colin.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be McGann because he's got, ongoing adventures anyway.
Yeah.
I think, this wouldn't really work into those ongoing plans, and it would just feel odd to have yet another ongoing McGann series on top of Time War and Ravenous or Stranded, whatever was going on at this time.
With Daleks as well, people will be going, is this another Dark Eyes then?
Yeah, very true. But yeah, Colin probably. I mean, Sylvester, I don't. It would definitely be Colin, Sylvester, or Peter, wouldn't it?
It would have been interesting to have Davo.
Mm.
But we kind of got that with like Shadow of the Daleks. So I'm like, I've kind
Yeah,
of got my Fifth Doctor Time War fix, even though that was sort of a last minute addition as
yeah.
well.
I guess. But yeah, whatever the case, it's worked out perfectly that it is instead David. Unless maybe
Yes.
their other option was Jacob Dudman as the 11th Doctor.
Yeah, we could have. Yeah, but I think
other
we
way of
stay
making it
winning.
work.
We stay winning with this
Yeah, this is still
because
the best. And probably the best David Tennant content Big Finish has to offer.
I was literally going to say it's like David has never left because he's really like the tour de force within this. You get to the other woman, you get to the Lost and Trojan Dalek, and that sort of final two-parter. He's just on firing all cylinders. Like it feels very like it's in 2009. You feel like, of course, this goes in between the specials.
Yeah. And I think because of it being an ongoing series, because you have emotions and arcs that carry through the episodes, it does allow for, those greater performances. It allows things to build up to those moments much better. Whereas when you are just dipping back to, say, 10th Doctor, Volume 3 with Ten and Donna, you can't really tap into much ongoing stuff there because a lot of it's already been explored on screen.
I think as well, when you have those volume releases, they're kind of caricaturing the 10th Doctor, going, you remember that? You remember that funny line he says? We're going to put it in there. This kind of strips it back, and you're getting, I want to say, more of an authentic 10th Doctor.
Yeah, I agree there. I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier about how, this is getting the action figures out there exactly as how they were in 2008, and they're just doing more adventures there. But whereas this is able to be something more than that, and also able to be something more than what the new series would have done in 2009, because it is an ongoing epic, and it's one that is able to tap into a lot more nerdy fan stuff than the TV series would have at the time. You've got Mark 7, the android from, I think, was it 60s comics he first appeared in?
Yeah, like the Dalek annuals, yeah.
And then you've got a Fourth Doctor audio-only companion of sorts joining the 10th Doctor as well. It's stuff that, you just wouldn't be able to get away with on TV.
Like, this is the thing about Dalek Universe. On the surface, it feels very niche, but it's amazing looking back on how, especially the first box set, how much it resonated online, how much of a presence it had. It never disappeared. People were still speaking about it, going, "Oh my god, that cliffhanger to episode 1! I need the next box set." Like, it had such a cultural impact in the Doctor community. Like, everyone, it felt like an event.
I suppose it was because as well, it was still lockdown-ish times, wasn't it?
It was, it was kind of just coming out of whatever, like 500th lockdown or something like that. Yeah.
People were clamoring for more Doctor Who, really, because there wasn't much on TV, and I mean, David Tennant doing an ongoing series, that just feels perfect for that time. I also think it works very well, the release schedule for this, 3 months between the box sets.
I think Dalek Universe is just, it got everything right. The release schedule, like you say.
It's like long enough that each set's allowed to breathe on its own, but not too long that you've forgotten about it. Like, that was very much the problem with Stranded. There was like 9 months between quite a few of those.
And you kind of feel like Dalek Universe put all these foundations down for the stuff with what they're doing with Jacob Dudman as the 11th Doctor. Yeah, they kind of screwed him up by putting the third box set out in December. Because you're kind of crushing the momentum you've got for it.
Yeah. But I suppose they want to get the Christmas special out then.
Yeah, I understand why, but it's just a bit of a shame, really. They didn't launch it this year.
Yeah. Stylish One says that cliffhanger got everyone talking. Yeah, it did. I remember it was spoiled for me because I looked up on TARDIS Wiki whether the Blame game took place before or after Rise of New Humans and the monk and scrolled down too far. Whoops, lol. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can talk about that cliffhanger now because...
Yeah, it's 2 years old.
Yeah, and also Missy Series 3 came along with Gemma Whelan as the monk / the nun. So, yeah, it's... it's the cliffhanger, isn't it? The Doctor regenerates into Gemma Whelan, but it's actually the monk sort of substituting herself in. And so with that, we get a new incarnation of the monk who, other than Missy Series 3, they haven't done much more with. Yeah.
And she's a great actress. She's great in Game of Thrones.
Stylish One says, how does that cliffhanger, though, compare to the very similar cliffhangers in the Black Hole and especially Unit Dominion?
I would say it works better here.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Mainly because we're off guard. Like, you just didn't expect it.
I think at the start of an ongoing series as well, suddenly that happening, you are just like, okay, where are we going from here? What are we doing?
Because, like, you've got the red herring of Mark Gatiss being there and thinking, oh, we're getting Sam Kisgart, we're getting the Master. So you're kind of lured into thinking that's where we're going. But no, it's a different Time Lord. And I think this is the joy because it gives you these rich scenes of the 10th Doctor seeing another Time Lord who doesn't know about the Time War and the atrocities yet to come. So that creates a nice dilemma for both, really. Yeah. And it creates, some of Tennant's finest work, like we were saying earlier.
I mean, I think on a negative side of that, it sort of does a bit of a Spyfall, where you have Mark Gatiss's character in here. I think, is it George Sheldrake?
Yes.
He gets a bit Daniel Bartoned, I'd say.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Which is a shame, but also there's only so much you could do in the 2-hour time slot. Stajman says, can Big Finish really do much more, though? I thought they've written themselves into a Queen-style corner by limiting what Doctors can meet to ones who either aren't available or have other arch-enemies or even other incarnations at the same Time Lord to face. Poor McQueen doesn't really have a place with McGann now that McGann has Roberts and Jacoby. Yeah, I could see that being an issue there. I mean, I suppose you can sort of get around it one way or the other.
They'll find a way. They're clever people at Big Finish.
Yeah, Is it actually said that the Doctor doesn't recognise her as the monk?
I can't quite recall.
Because he's locked up in her TARDIS.
And
there's certainly a moment, but I don't... I'm not... Because it's not necessarily integral to the story. Because it's more the audience not knowing. It's her substituting herself for the Doctor at some point. And, when she does meet the Doctor before that, she's disguised as that pastor character, isn't she?
Yeah.
So I felt, maybe it would require a re-listen to be sure. But you can get away with that incarnation of the monk meeting a previous Doctor and it not ruining this, I'd say. Certainly, yeah, it certainly doesn't ruin the twist because it's an audience point of view twist. I think. Who knows? I could be wrong there. But yeah, you're certainly right about McQueen, though, Stylish One. He has sort of lost his place at Big Finish, sadly. I do want more McQueen.
Oh, yeah.
I think he said about he'd like to work with Tennant and Catherine, didn't he?
That's the next one. That's the sequel. We need more.
If there's a way, Big Finish will
There's a
find
way.
it.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
And I'll be
Master
first
Universe.
in line. Literally, I'll be first in line. Let's do it.
I mean, shall we have a quick chat about the Dalek Protocol? Or Protocol?
Protocol. We sure can.
Because that's like a little bonus that came along, wasn't it, here?
Yeah, it was a couple of days before it dropped because we were getting the countdown for Dalek Universe 1 while the Dalek Protocol came out.
Yeah, I think it came out just the day before, didn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, I've not finished listening to Dalek Protocol. Oh, well, I'm just going to go Dalek Universe straight away.
It's more of a bonus. I can see why they released it around this time. What format did you get Dalek Protocol, Luke? I went for physical with this. I got the vinyl bundle that also featured the Dalek Protocol CD. I think it was 110 quid at the time.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Let's have a look. Oh, it's gone up to 118 quid now.
Oh, yeah, it definitely wasn't 118 quid when I got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid 110 for them all. Maybe 112.
But yeah, Dalek Protocol.
It's like another Nick Briggs love letter to Day of the Daleks.
Death to the Daleks, you mean?
Yeah, not bloody Day.
I was going to say, where's the Reginald Styles?
They're all the same. They're all Third Doctor Dalek stories.
How dare you?
Yeah. Anyway, the sequel to Planet of the Daleks here. Nick Briggs has written one of them as well. Yeah, it's only Day he hasn't done a love letter to.
That's for next Third Doctor set. Did he not?
No, I swear he said. Well, at least he doesn't love it. I think he said on the podcast about it. It's his least favourite Dalek story for the Third Doctor.
Oh, I don't know how to feel about that.
The duality of the man. Yeah, this Death to the Daleks sequel. I feel like the way it's written gives me a vibe that it was done around the time when they were doing the two, like the 4-parters as 2 separate one disc releases.
Yeah, so like series 1 to 6.
Yeah, so like there would have been 2 different titles for this. But because there's a definite split between parts 1 and 2 and parts 3 and 4 as we go off into space. I mean, fairly light on Dalek action as well.
Yeah, that was a common thing for like Dalek Universe in general, wasn't it? Where are the Daleks? Because they're kind of in the background, aren't they? Sort of manipulating Mark 7.
Yeah. I mean, you do have a slight reference to this story in Buying Time, but that's about it, really. Because for Anya in this, it's before she met the Doctor from his point of view. And so she's got to like remain hidden and isn't able to reveal herself to him in fear of disrupting his timeline. And so that sort of adds an extra dimension to this one. And I suppose it saves that emotional baggage for Dalek Universe, doesn't it?
Yeah, the payoff.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's one that adds much to this story.
Yeah, I don't think you need it to listen to Dalek Universe.
No. It's like a little bonus, but it's certainly a bit of a weak one.
Bilal's in it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, he's there for parts 1 and 2, isn't he? You get that
Hmm.
reunion with the Fourth Doctor. And I mean, Fourth Doctor and Bilal, that's a great combination.
It's just a shame that it wasn't utilised that much.
Yeah, it's sort of once the story starts doing something interesting, it then decides, oh no, we're going to go off and do something else now.
Bye, Bilal. I'm off now.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's just fine, isn't it? But it's nothing.
Yeah, it's not offensive. It's just, yeah, stick it on. Had a good time. Let's get to Dalek Universe, you know?
I mean, what else is there to say about Dalek Universe? Other than how amazing it is.
Just buy it. If you've not listened to it, just buy it.
Yeah. I suppose there's one other thing we could talk about, though.
Oh, go on.
The Diary of a Song Series 8.
Oh, yeah.
Because it had a little tie-in of sorts. You've got Mark and Anya in there again. It's unclear quite where it takes place still. I wonder what TARDIS Wiki has that as.
They will have the answers.
Yeah, because I feel like it could take place either before or after Dalek Protocol. I'm going to have a look. Let's see.
I imagine after.
I don't know, I could see it before, though, because they released it before. And that might be all they have to really go off. I
don't know. But again, with this River Song story, you don't really need it for Dalek Universe. It's just a nice little bonus having Mark and Anne.
Yeah, it's not like I was expecting it to tie into the mechanoid stuff somehow, but it never does. Like the mechanoids in this are very separate from the mechanoids in Dalek Universe ongoing stuff. Like it's not in the same way as like a multimedia project, is it? It's just stories that happen to be dealing with the same stuff. So they thought, you know, we might as well say it's a tie-in.
I mean, it worked because we bought it.
I mean, I think we were buying it anyway.
Yeah, we're buying it anyway because we like River.
We're completists. TARDIS Wiki doesn't even have a section on Queen of the Mechanoids in Anya Kingdom's page.
There we go.
So they don't even know where to put it. But yeah, I wonder if they'll ever have a follow-up into this with Jay Griffith's character.
I'd hope so.
Derek Griffiths, sorry, not Jay Griffiths. Sorry. Don't know what I was thinking then. Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's the best from this set.
No.
Yeah, it's just sort of, there is a little bonus tie-in, really.
Yeah.
I'd say the weakest stuff from Dalek Universe, funnily enough, is the stuff that's tangential to it. So Queen of the Mechanoids and Dalek Protocol, I'd say, are below pretty much everything in the main Dalek Universe series.
Yeah.
Apart from perhaps 1 or 2 episodes. But yeah, even that, it's very close. Yeah, the rest of it is high above, but we'll get onto that when we tier list it all. So I just want to be fair, TARDIS Wiki used to not have anything about crimes of Thomas Brewster on D.I. Menzies' page, despite it being crucial to her and the Doctor's relationship. I swear it just depends what people have actually listened to, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it when Big Finish cross over elements of their universe to make it feel cohesive.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it because like we were saying, 2020 we were just coming off Time Lord Victorious, and this probably does it better because it's only like 2 add-ons really.
Yeah, I think they're both like big series about the 10th Doctor, but this beats it by a country mile.
Oh, I know which one I'd rather pick up and experience again. Doomsday. Jokes. That could be brilliant for all I know.
Yeah, I suppose we'll probably be getting more details about that sooner or later.
Yeah, sure will.
But for now, shall we go into the tier list?
Yeah, should we do a quick fire tier list?
Yeah. I mean, that can also be a space to talk more in depth about the individual Dalek
Yes.
Universe stories. But it's a full on tier list as well because we've got. Have I sent you the link? Yeah, I have. There we go. It's open
There
now.
we are.
I was just looking back and thinking, wait, did I send it? But here we go. It's
Take
been a
it
little
away.
while, hasn't it?
It has, and I think we've got a tier list next week, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. All the Masters. All the Masters stories, that is. But
Yeah.
here we go. Oh, you are beautiful. No, really, you are gorgeous. Quote there from the 10th Doctor in The Girl in the Fireplace. Seems a good way to appreciate a Big Finish audio.
Yeah,
Allons-y,
absolutely.
of course. Some audios do more in 20 minutes than others do in 80. Little misquote from the Lazarus Experiment. Oh, it's a thing. There we go. From Sontaran Stratagem. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, from pretty much every other 10th Doctor story. And finally, the one I'm most proud of. I'm burning up a sun just to say this is shit.
We'll see where this goes.
Hopefully mostly positive. Stylish and cold fusion debate incoming. God. I really should have re-listened to it in preparation for this because I'm going off of memory every time at this point. We both are.
This is the joy of this. It's just no homework, gut check.
Yeah, what's our guttural reaction to Technophobia first? I think you're more positive on this one than me, but you've also re-listened to this box set more recently.
Yeah,
So
I finished Dalek Universe 1, went back to this volume, so 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've really touched it since probably about 2017. I'd probably say some audios do more in 20 minutes than others do in 80.
See, I was thinking Allons-y.
You've got the recency advantage here, so I'll let you have it.
I have the mouse.
It's fresher in your mind.
I just think it gets the new series opener right format very well. I think it works well.
I mean, this box set, and I think the first 3 10th Doctor box sets are all going for that same format, aren't they? It's like the first 3 stories of the series. You got your present, past, and future, or future and past, depending on which way they go for it. But yeah, the future one in this is Time Reaver, and this was written by Jenny T. Colgan, wasn't it? Who also wrote a 10th Doctor and Donna novel at that time.
In the Blood, which tied in with Gully.
God, 10th Doctor overshadowing Peter Capaldi while he's on screen. Nerves him.
How dare he?
I did not like this one bit.
I'd say, it's a thing.
Okay.
Oh, you think it should go down?
I'd say it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But again,
Okay.
I haven't listened to it as recently, so
I think it's the weakest of the first box set.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll let you have it.
Yeah, that's what I'll have to yield to. Where would you put Death and the Queen now?
Top tier.
Oh, I don't know.
I have a real good time. I think that it plays into Tennant's comedy strengths really nicely, and just having that. Yeah, I just really like it. I can't explain it.
I struggled with it at the time. I don't remember if I finished it the first time. I think I had to go back to it and do it again.
It's very James Goss, and I think that's why I like it, because I really like James Goss's scripts.
I think James Goss is very all over the place for me. I appreciate him as a writer because you never know what you're going to get. You're always going to get something weird, but it's always a different type of weird. He's never, going for the same thing twice. But this one wasn't one that did it for me at the time. Like I said, I'd allow you an Alonzi.
Okay.
And now, Infamy of Desaros. This is another one that you quite like and I don't, isn't it?
I like the Douglas Adams feel to it.
I
like that.
I think James really liked this one as well, didn't
Yeah,
he?
James likes it a lot.
Yeah, it's one that I just never could quite get on with as much. But where would you go for it?
I'd probably say Alonzi.
I'll let you have that. I'd probably go for some audios do more in blah 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 blah. The long tier. The problem with naming these, giving these tiers long names is, yeah. But yeah, Sword of Chevalier, I'd say top tier.
Banger.
Yeah, I'll get that one. That certainly blew me away. No. It deserves. I mean, where would you put it?
That's where I'd put it.
I'd probably go Alonzi. So shall we? Oh, it's a thing in the middle.
Yeah.
There we go. We don't need to drag it. We need to re-listen to it. That could be a stream all of its own.
Okay. But I've listened to it 3 times and my opinions only got worse.
Oh dear. No place now. I think here, this is where we start to agree a lot more. Volume 3 onwards, really. I mean, I'd say top tier, No Place.
It's got to be just because of Bernard.
Yeah. I made sure to include him in the little picture there when I cropped the cover art for that. I was like, no, I can't leave out Bernard.
You can't leave Bernie.
No, there he is. And it's just a wonderfully different story. I think Volume 3 is where, we've had our regular 10th Doctor and Donna box set. Here is where we can start to get some more experimental stuff, some more stuff that Big Finish usually does with Doctors and Companions. And so I love that we get that here in an almost found footage style story.
Yeah.
It's something very special. It all goes a bit mad at the climax, but nevertheless, I love this one. I think it's got so much going for it. So many great little moments. And now, 1 mile down. I'd probably say some audios do more in 20 minutes and others do in 20.
Yeah, because I don't think it's that bad as what that is. But I have a good time with it. I think that it feels very of the era.
Yeah, although probably not quite what I could achieve on a TV budget.
Yeah, but it does have that sort of disaster movie feel, like Voyage of the Damned, very well.
Yeah, sort of spoofing off that style of things. Ooh, Creeping Death. I'd probably go top tier again.
It's my favourite of that volume.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And I mean, out of time now.
This is hard, this one. Because I know it's not the best story. But my heart wants to put it top.
Should we go Alonzi?
Yeah.
Just a bit. So I feel like it sort of muddies the waters of the top tier. If you yeah, it is. It's just fun.
For what it is, it's the 2 iconic Doctors coming together in a nice, simple Dalek invasion story. Beautiful character moments. What more do you want?
Yeah. It's like, you know what you're getting just by looking at the cover here. And
yeah.
It doesn't disappoint with that. It doesn't go above and beyond what it could be. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything. It's not pushing the boat out, but it's just being fun for what it is. It's giving these 2 iconic Doctors plenty of good interactions. And it's just what you want from a multi-Doctor story, really.
Yeah.
bit. But now we're on to the box set that probably really starts to do different things. This is almost 10th Doctor written by Stephen Moffat, isn't it?
Yes.
It's going for that vibe. And not just Stephen Moffat, but, very much Series 5 and 6, Stephen Moffat, when he's in charge. This is possibly what Doctor Who could have looked like if David Tennant stayed on that one more year.
Hmm.
And expiry dating is the
Top
peak
tier.
example of that. It's very Moffat.
All
but
done
all the
through
good- all the good Moffat.
correspondence.
Yeah. Very different style of story. But
You
one
get
that-
Simp Davo,
beautiful.
Colin as a voice message. It's just great humor, and just the whole mystery of like the Apocalypse Vault. Lovely.
Oh yeah, it's not a top tier one. It's beautiful. It
No
really is. It's
question.
gorgeous. Precious Annihilation, on the other hand, though. No arguments. for me
No
there.
arguments. No arguments.
No, Nan. I did not get on with that one at all. Ghosts.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah, it feels right for that one.
Like it's all right.
Fun fact: James Goss has no memory of writing expiry dating, so listen to it as if he was a buyer going in for the first time.
Did a great job, whatever.
Yeah,
it
wow.
was.
That is a surprising one, especially because it's not like a Fourth Doctor one where it was written ages before. It's like, I think maybe he wrote it so quickly that he didn't have time to soak it in, because it was like a tight deadline of David Tennant and Alex Kingston are available. Get writing quick. I think it was like a week or two you had to do it. Anyway, we've got some hot takes here from Stylish One.
Okay.
Ben likes Game of Thrones because it has Ben likes No Place because it has a Game of Thrones actor in it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I was originally going to say, there does Ben like Game of Thrones because it has a No Place actor in it.
Yeah,
but you did listen to No Place first.
I did. Yeah, that's what made me go into Game of Thrones.
Stylish One's on your side. He doesn't like Cold Vengeance.
So therefore, my opinion is correct and yours is wrong.
I will find a fellow Cold Vengeance fan.
Good
or
luck.
I might listen to it and think it's shit. Who knows?
Good luck. You're a dying species.
Ben, friendship ended with Luke. Friendship started with Stephen Newman. He's found a new co-host now. As soon as Nick allows Stephen to do some interviews, I'm gone. He's kicking me out.
No, I could never. You do too much work, and yeah,
I'm part of the furniture now.
Literally, you're a Pertwee Smith boy. I can't lose you.
Hot take.
Not after 8 years of this.
Yeah, it's been a long while now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think it is about 8, isn't it?
Yeah, 2015, I think.
Yeah. Maybe I'd say maybe 7.5, because it would have been like right at the end during Series 9, wasn't it? Where our group sort of formed, I suppose.
It was sort of Series 8 when our group sort of came together, and then it was sort of people joined.
Yeah, and then everyone else died off until it was just us two left.
Yeah. Here we are.
Here we are, reading out Stylish One's hot takes. I really enjoyed 1 Mile Down. It's pure fun and very enjoyable. Yeah, like it's just fun, really.
Crocs.
It's got a message, but I don't know how well it gets that message across. But it's fun nevertheless.
I think that's the thing with the 10th Doctor audios; they're all fun.
Yeah,
maybe
I
not
think it's David's energy that he comes into it with.
Yeah,
really helps. Hot take: I don't like the creeping death. It was boring and very drawn out. One of my least favorite 10th Doctor audios. It seems very Marmite one from discussions. Yeah, I've not seen many people fall in the middle. It's either they love it or they hate it.
It's interesting how, like, Volume 3, everyone has a different favourite.
yeah, like for me, you and James, we all had a different favourite first time around,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah,
And I
we
think we
did.
still, yeah. I think No Place is still just edging it for me.
Creeping Death still
Yeah.
mine.
And James was the one who really liked No 1 Mile Down. Yeah, it was a really solid volume for a change.
Yeah.
Which was nice because usually it's like what we're used to with the Ninth Doctor now. You have like your one banger, your one pretty good story, and then your one naff one that you forget about.
I think the thing with the David audios is because they were so few and far between. When you did get David, you were like, "These are the best things ever."
Yeah, that's it. Like it probably those first three probably are on the same level as what we get from the Ninth Doctor now. It's just because of how much Ninth Doctor we get that we can't appreciate it anymore.
Yeah.
Another hot take: the free extract of Precious Annihilation was so enjoyable, I almost bought the whole box set. Reviews changed my mind. I feel like it gets off to an all right start, but then
Yeah.
it goes downhill as it goes along. Precious Annihilation. But luckily, with this box set, they're all available individually. So buy
Yeah.
expiry dating, and that's all you really need. Get it on its own
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have a good time with it. Which do you loathe the most, Ben? Doom Coalition 2 or Cold Vengeance?
I think Doom Coalition 2. Because it was released on my birthday, and I've never been more depressed.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, like Cold Vengeance, it's an hour and you're done. Yeah,
The pain's over quicker.
yeah, it's over quicker.
Stars also says listening to Technophobia for the first time less than a year ago. After all that, a lieutenant really makes it pale in comparison and fall flat. Yeah, I could see that. Ben's more of a Technophobia fan here than me.
I'm just a Tennant fan and simp.
Yeah, it just did feel a bit derivative of Series 4 for me. It's like all of the trappings, but none of the soul. But anyway, here we go. Back to Dalek Universe now. Positives. Buying time. Solid enough. Probably an Alonzi.
I'd say Alonzi, then I'd say Wrong Woman is top tier just because of what it does with Ten and Monk.
I'd still lean towards Alonzi, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's anything special. But again, it's like the overall quality of the series. House of Kingdom probably one tier down.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's the weakest, but it's still really enjoyable.
And taking a quick break from Dalek Universe because the Gates of Hell came out, where we got Fifth Doctor and 10th Doctor, and this is probably my favourite of the Out of Time trilogy.
It's the one with the most story.
Almost too much for 1 hour.
But it works so well.
Yeah,
it's one of those ones where I wish it was longer, but I'm happy with what it gives.
It doesn't feel rushed, but it does feel like could have been more to explore as we bump around different time periods and such.
It's the one what I feel could be done on screen out of the three.
I mean, maybe that's down to Time Crash. We have had this Doctor companion, Doctor combo, on TV. And you've also got a great surrogate companion of sorts, don't you? With, I can't remember her name now, Tina?
Yeah, Tina.
Yeah, the Time Agent. Which, it's a shame she hasn't come back, actually.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear more from her. But I'd probably say an Alonzi.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, so we're filling out that second top one.
Yeah.
Now, Cycle of Destruction, back to Dalek Universe. Kicking off Dalek Universe 2 with this one, the Mark-centric story.
It's rough.
How rough would you say?
I'd say, it's a thing.
Yeah, I'll accept that. It's definitely worse than House of Kingdom. But the Trojan Dalek. The ending alone of this one. The cover as well is beautiful.
I want to put it there.
You go for it. I'm not going to stop you.
It's a great one. The setup,
Yeah.
perfect execution, should we say?
Mm, that is
Too
mind
soon?
blowing. Yeah. Oh, and now finally, the Lost Alonzi.
Yeah. I think it's a great continuation of the Trojan Dalek.
Yeah, like it certainly has a lot to pick up on there and deal with the fallout of. And it does a very good job of that. It's a much slower story because it is pretty much just the main characters in it. I think is it only the 3 main cast members actually who are in the
Yeah, it is.
story. I think there's no guest stars in this one. But it does a brilliant job with that. Starts from us. Does buying time hold up on re-listen though? I'd say so. It's still got a good amount of fun in there.
I
With all
think you
the
pick up on
action
more things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
I think if you listen to it and then do the whole series, you notice on more little Easter eggs, especially when you get to the finale.
It's true. Yeah, particularly with the moment at the end of The Wrong Woman. That certainly has further implications. I mean, John Dawley was saying about how there's a little tease there that no one's picked up on. And he was right.
Yeah.
It does work out. So I just want to ask, did you end up getting 10th Doctor Classic Companions physically, Luke, since apparently the cover is better as a CD cover? Yes, I did. It does work out better in person. I think it's the same with a lot of the painted covers, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do look a bit nicer in person. And yeah, it's also got like a black fade at the bottom rather than an odd reddish brown, which I think just helps make the whole cover come together and pop a lot more. Yeah, it looks a lot more refined in person than it does online. It's funny, we were complaining at the time about that one feeling overpriced, and now we got the current 9th Doctor price point. April Fool's idea, Ben talking about how much he loves Doom Coalition 2 and Cold Vengeance for the same amount of time it would take to listen to it. What he's talking about.
I could never do that to my lovely subscribers.
4 hours of praising Doom Coalition 2.
I don't think I could do that physically.
No. I don't think you could manage 4 minutes.
No. Even 4 seconds at this point.
Starch says, since a lot of casual Big Finish fans and new listeners listen to Dalek Universe, I bet The Lost spoiled a lot for them, just like Dark Eyes. It does have quite a few references to other parts of Big Finish canon, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose it depends how much you're paying attention, though, because if those names are just washing over you, and then you get back to if you get into other parts of the expanded universe, you might not necessarily remember them anyway. I suppose it just depends how casual a Big Finish fan you are at that point.
How well researched you are.
Because I think we're so far down the rabbit hole that it's sort of hard to fathom the idea of people not knowing certain parts of it and not knowing how different box sets sometimes link together and such, how different ranges works.
I think people have a basic understanding of, that's a Big Finish character.
Yeah. But the first Sun now, Dalek Universe 3.
It's another low point.
Yeah, I'd say this and Cycle of Destruction were the 2 low points I was going on about earlier that might be below Dalek Protocol and Queen of the Mechanoids. But I think it's it's a thing. I think they're all on the same level.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I do. I don't mind the first Sun though. I don't hate.
I think I prefer
it. People seem to. Yeah. Ooh. Would you maybe say it's some audios do more in 20 minutes and others do in 80? I don't know. Hmm.
I don't know, because I think those two are the low points in the series. So I think they're in the right place, but I'd probably
Right.
put that like that just into the
Yeah.
Dark Universe.
Yeah, so it's better than Circle Destruction. Not that, I mean, for us, we just more put them in chronological order, don't we?
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
don't do the whole thing of if it's the closest to the left. That would take too much.
There'd be
For
too much
us.
bickering. Too much
Yeah.
bickering.
Order. No.
Yeah, go on
Dalek Defense. Now, this is where things really all come together for Dalek Universe. I can't remember what it was. I think it was you who said this has that Voyage of the Damned energy to it.
It does,
It's like
yeah.
that yeah. It's got like that pace to it as with being chased through space. It's just one that really gets, the
Gets your
adrenaline
heart
going.
pumping. Yeah.
Yeah. It gets you excited. It gets you engaged. You're glued to the screen, or well, your ears are glued to the headphones.
It's just the build up of Davros coming back.
Mm.
And you get that confrontation between Tennant and Malloy, and it's just electrifying scenes.
Oh, it's all brilliant stuff. I'd say both of these are top tier.
Yeah, there's no argument with this one.
Yeah, they're the best that Dalek Universe has to offer. And I think thanks to these two, it really does elevate Dalek Universe as a whole when you see how everything fits together overall. And yeah, the fact that everything leads to this, I think ending on a high really helps Dalek Universe as a whole stand as great in the sum of its parts.
Hmm.
I mean, things like Cycle of Destruction and The First Son, yeah, they're not the best, but I feel like when it's a mess story in an overall series, it's easier to forgive that than when it's just a mess story standing on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're lifted up by the others. They're not dragging it down at all.
Oh, it's just the cliffhanger as well. So
Oh,
good.
it is chills, honestly, at the end of Dalek Defense, the way that's delivered.
It's just a shame that Dalek Universe didn't lead into self-defense. I think that would have been a really nice sort of cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah. Or 10th Doctor Classic Companions. Ended with Find a Canine. But at the same time, I think after a 9-episode run, I'm okay with that being like a bookend to it.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's just
I think it sort of becomes a bit toxic after a while if you go into each box set expecting a tease at the end for the next one. Because then you're no longer necessarily focusing on what you've got now. You're looking forward to what's next instead.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's a problem for us with many different things, to be fair. So, how do the final two stories work on vinyl? How does the behind the scenes work as well? The behind the scenes isn't on the vinyl. It's just a downloadable extra. Yeah, I think there's not enough room on vinyl discs to fit the behind the scenes, so they do it as its own separate thing. Wink. The low point of Out of Time.
Yeah, I think it's weird. People think that's their favorite, and I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe that's a Colin bias there for people.
Yeah, I didn't get much out of it, even though it's the shortest.
It dragged the most.
Yeah, it dragged more than the others.
I think the problem I have as well, these are the two ego doctors. It never played that into the story, which is a real shame.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's a thing.
Again. Yeah, I'd agree.
Feels right for this one. And now Splinters.
Best of the classic companions?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think it's got a lot going for it in that reunion of the 10th Doctor and Leela, and how that is works into the story, how it's not all that it seems. Like there's a lot of things in the story that aren't as they seem.
The Spridgen.
And it's much more of a fairy tale.
It's a Grimm's fairy tale, isn't it? I love imagery of the season 14 TARDIS console being used in this wonderful fairy tale way.
Yeah, it's very different. It's nice how we are able to explore Lena still in this way, despite the fact that her ending or endings is something that is popped up a lot in Big Finish. So, I'd say an Alonzi.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree. And then I'd say the low point of the box set is Stuntman.
The Stuntman.
It doesn't do Nissa any favors.
No, it's a weird one, and then it just falls flat towards the end as well. Like it's trying to do a lot of exciting stuff, but I never feel like the energy's there in the script.
It doesn't feel like a reunion as well.
No, it sort of glosses over that pretty quickly, and I think one of the things this one had going against it was, or this box as a whole, is that you've already had the perfect 10th Doctor meeting class companion in School Reunion.
Yeah.
And so each story is going to be held up to that high standard. I'm sorry, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I'll be honest, I struggled with it.
Yeah. Oh, you went for top tier for Splinters.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I thought, yeah. Oh, did it slip while you put it up?
Yeah, it must have slipped.
Yeah. I thought we agreed on Alan Z.
We did agree. We did, yes.
I thought I was going to have to get the who knows what out.
Don't hurt me. Please.
No, I'm not going to hurt you.
Just your family.
Just your black series. It's even worse.
That's all right. That's okay.
Dangle your Grogu over a flame.
If he doesn't make it,
no.
he better survive and Din. If he doesn't, then I'm gonna quit.
Oh. Hold a mini black saber over his head.
No.
Now, Quantum of Axos. I mean, we've sort of given the game away a bit by saying Splinters was the best of the box set.
Yeah.
And Stuntman was in the middle. So it's going in one of the in-between tiers, I think. I'm leaning more towards some audios do more in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Fine. It's another Axos escaping its prison story.
Which is sort of the go-to Axos story, which is a shame.
Yeah.
They're more than a one-trick pony.
I mean, I like how, again, sort of nostalgia is worked into the story. But it is sort of odd how this one works in canon now when you have Power of the Doctor there as well.
And you think this came out just before it as well?
Yeah, because it's a very different interpretation of Ace.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very much insistent on, I'm Dorothy now. Which I'm not sure about as a character twist in general. Like, I don't think it's down to this story. I'm sure it's come up in other places, like probably Dark Universe as well. But I mean, how do you feel about Ace going by Dorothy later in life?
It's Ace. She's always going to be Ace. Get out of here with your Dorothy McShane.
It feels like it's leaning towards that idea of, supposedly people get more right wing as they grow older. Like, they drift away from the left. And Ace obviously starts very radical. And just her being, obviously she's still compassionate and has those values. Yeah, but just the way that she's going by her birth name rather than her chosen name, it just rubs me up the wrong way a bit. So even if Chris Chibnall's sort of done away with a lot of expanded media Ace stuff to get to the Power of the Doctor, I think I prefer the Power of the Doctor take on Ace. Which probably is sacrilege to say, but Luke, are you calling Ace of all characters a Tory? Not that far. But
let's not get political now.
Certainly, I'm not necessarily a fan of some of the places they try to take Ace in the expanded universe, like later in life, the whole CEO Ace thing. I mean, she had those Tory blue shoelaces in.
Oh, here
Power of
we
the Doctor.
go. Here
But
we
they
go.
mean something very different. So there you go. Watch out, Yaz. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez.
You know. Fun fact, Fun fact, Briggs almost called Chibnall up to let him know about the canon consistencies, but decided it's all made up anyway, so didn't call. Ah. I mean, it's not like the new series is a stranger to canon inconsistencies before Chris Chibnall came along.
Again, canon is your own thing.
Yeah, like Nick Briggs says, it's all made up anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get butthurt, remember it's only a TV show.
Tariki was going to say, Tegan can't be in this. She should have died of cancer by now.
In a 2006 audio, I'll send you a copy.
Add a side minute as well. You'll like it.
It's gushies.
Oh dear. To be fair, I think Big Finish themselves were sort of forgotten about that. Or, well, chosen to push that to one side. Do you think RTD will let Big Finish do what they want or restrict them like he did during his first era? I mean, apparently there's already been some restrictions in place, hasn't there?
Yeah.
To the characters they can use. But I think especially if he's expanding the universe a lot more, if he's doing a unit spin-off, he's gonna want certain characters. So I think there will be some limits there. I think it's less saying Big Finish don't do this and more saying you're probably better off not doing this because I'm going to be doing some of this stuff later on. It's like when they were going to have Churchill meet the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what, that's a character we're likely going to use on TV. So you're better off not, because then, that would then be decannoned, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of muddies the waters a bit. Although, funny enough, they probably could have got away with it because when Churchill does come along, he knows the Doctor anyway.
It probably would have worked in their favour, to be honest, if they did do it.
Yeah, but oh well. We got Heroes of Sontar instead.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Ben, as a big Pertwee fan, how do you feel about older Joe's fate in the Mists of Time?
I'll be honest, I've not listened to that, so I don't know.
What is the Mists of Time?
It's in the Free Companions box set. Along with, I think, Freak Show as well. I think a Turlo
was
one.
Was that a Turlo? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they do there then. But again, that's one of those things where it's before they realise the TV series is going to do stuff with these characters. They think, oh, they're all ours now.
I mean, there's an audio of Many Deaths of Joe Grant where they literally kill Joe in the first 15 minutes of the audio. And it's a really good audio because that was the Big Finish I listened to before Conflicts of Interest again.
You're freshening up on your Companion Chronicles.
For something.
Oh, I wonder what.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Next February will mark 10 years since Liv joined the 8th Doctor, so I wonder if they'll do an anniversary box set to celebrate. Wow, that is insane and scary.
Yeah, it is actually, because that'd be 10 years of us in Big Finish properly.
Yeah, it would. God.
We'll have to do a special.
Yeah, okay.
10 years of Big Finish.
Wasn't Victory of the Daleks the original title of an audio before Moffat said no?
I think it was a comic or something. There was a 10th Doctor comic that was very similar to what Victory of the Daleks was doing.
Yeah, he didn't say no to World Enough in Time, though.
No, he nicked it.
Speaking of restrictions, I wonder if an Ace series was to happen, they would revoke her use on audio. Yeah, because they stopped completely like the use of Sarah Jane for a while, didn't they? But I wonder how much of that was just Russell himself and other BBC higher ups, because obviously at that time he had to struggle a lot with who was the person who would have cancelled Big Finish if he found out. Mal Young, wasn't it? Yeah. Whereas I think times have changed now. Like the BBC as a whole is very happy with Big Finish. Well, maybe not as a whole, but the ones that need to worry about it and have their hand in it. I'm sure there's loads of parts of the BBC that don't even know what a Big Finish is because it's a huge thing and Big Finish is quite niche.
I think as well, Big Finish is in a different place now to what it was back 2006 because they didn't have Tom Baker. The Companion Chronicles was just an idea. So Sarah in itself was kind of a companion that was sort of in and out anyway. So it wasn't a great loss not having her there.
Yeah. Whereas now they're pretty much doing everything, really.
Yeah.
Especially, well, in classic series at least. In new series, they're obviously a bit limited. Like we still haven't got any Martha and 10th Doctor content. And so if Martha was to be in the unit spin-off, that might restrict that. But at the same time, we wouldn't be getting it anyway, I imagine.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, we do know that the final part of Once and Future was delayed because of stuff going on TV. So there certainly is an effect there from Russell. Apparently, Russell RTD during his first era was very wary of not confusing fans and general audience, so that's why he kept restricting Big Finish. I suppose it's a bit different now because he's not relaunching the show. He's just there. I think he didn't want people thinking, "Oh, Doctor Who's come back. Do I have to listen to all of this audio that took place in between to understand what's happening?" Whereas I think now people are much more aware of expanded media as a concept.
I think so, yeah.
Thanks to things like Star Wars as well. And I mean, the MCU and such. I think people are much less bothered by that idea.
Yeah.
He also apparently stopped any more Unbound stories.
I think that was more down to they want the focus to be on the person on screen, not the stunt casting of here's so-and-so as the Doctor.
Yeah, it's like they didn't want Big Finish casting their own Doctors, which even came up to the new Unbound series, didn't it? That's why it's Colin Baker as a War Doctor variant rather than a new actor entirely as a new War Doctor. Yeah. Also, 8's longest companion. Yeah, Liv is 8's longest running companion now, which doesn't feel real.
No, it feels wrong when you put it out like that.
But I mean, I wonder if she's also the one with the most content.
Probably.
Like when you throw in robots as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Nicola Walker is just having the time of her life doing it as well. So I don't know if she'd be stopping anytime soon anyway.
No, I don't think she's... I mean, robots is stopped for now. It'll probably be rebooted in another couple of years like Gallifrey.
Yeah. I suppose they'd have to find another way around it, though.
Yeah.
Maybe robots without Liv. Don't know. Just Tula. Who knows?
I mean, that's if Tula survives.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a spoiler. I have no idea what happens in Robot 6. So I've not really...
You have no idea what happened to Robots 1.
Exactly. I know there's Voc robots. I know Liv and her sister in it, and that's about it.
Sweating nervously in case RTD takes away the master license again. Oh yeah, they weren't allowed to use the master for a while, were they?
I don't think they will. They've got a Jacoby plan for so long.
Yeah, I think with Scott Hancock with him as well, he'll probably be like, Russell, don't you dare. He'll stand up to him.
Yeah.
Nicola Walker just hasn't been snatched up by America like Smith, Bradley, and Thakrar. Oh yeah, they lost Bliss, didn't they? Oh, such a shame.
Oh no! Moving on.
Anyway, if you could pick 3 shows for Big Finish to make, which would it be? Mine would be Star Trek Primeval, Unlikely I Know, and New Captain Scarlet. I don't. Part of me wouldn't want them to, because if they pick a show I want more of, I'll then have to buy it.
yeah.
And I'll be paying even more money for Big Finish. I mean, Primeval's definitely, it feels like one that should have happened.
Yeah. I think Primeval's an interesting one where people, if they do get it, whether people will put their money where their mouths are with it.
Because it is still quite niche, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's not the same kind of niche, because it's not like that cult classic niche like Omega Factor.
Yeah.
It's not, there's a lot of ones that are like contemporaries of Classic Who that Big Finish get their hands on. Whereas something like Primeval is a contemporary of New Who.
It's very much our generation's sort of filler, like Merlin.
Yeah. Like that. I think as with something like Merlin as well, how much could you do on audio?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Nick Briggs got asked about that actually in a recent email. And he said, you have to pay the license there for that. And it's already quite full. So if Big Finish did want to do something like that, why not just do their own take on the Arthurian legend? Which I can agree with. And yeah, it's like the same thing as why do more Sherlock when they've got their own Sherlock Holmes?
I think as well their production schedule, where they got to fit it in.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
A lot of people want Red Dwarf. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Big Finish do a comedy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
and
not
not
like
Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah, it's not like radio comedies don't exist. Like Peter Davison was in that Welcome to Our Village, Please Invade Carefully, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Dead Rings is on radio now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not like radio comedies don't exist, but they're sort of like a different. They are much more radio rather than audio drama, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we have funny Big Finish stories. There's certainly some that lean very heavily into comedy, but I don't know a full-on sitcom would work. Big Finish Robin Hood. Oh wait, they already did that and lost the license, then got it back, then found a box of CDs which had been airing around for years that apparently had been forgotten about. The legal issues around Red Dwarf have been sorted again, though, and they're back up and running. So I think people don't want Red Dwarf Big Finish anymore since the show is continuing in some way. Yeah, that's the other thing. If it's not like with Doctor Who, it's a bit different because you're picking up on the old Doctors, aren't you, and carrying on with them.
Yeah.
Whereas with Red Dwarf, it's just carrying on TV. Apparently, it's like going to be 2 different versions of the show, potentially. Like because the creators have split and they've like both agreed to do their own stuff with the brand. So it's like, yeah, it's a bizarre thought.
Yeah, one might do audio, one might do TV.
Yeah, maybe that'd be the way to do it. Yeah. So also says Ruth Bradley could return. Yeah, we've said we want our Molly box set, don't we?
Yeah, we want Molly back.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we've got Ruth Madley instead.
Yeah.
Unless she's not quite been scooped up by America, but she has been scooped up by Russell for New Who and maybe the unit spin-off as well. So yeah, Hebe might be short-lived. We'll see. Primeval had 3 different casts though, and none were keen to do a movie, so Big Finish doesn't seem likely. I mean, you could maybe just come up with new characters.
Yeah.
I don't just because Primeval, the idea, of time. What do they call them in Primeval? Is it breaches?
Anomalies?
Yeah, anomalies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of those just popping up and then prehistoric creatures coming into our modern world.
See, I'd only get it if I had like the OG team with like Douglas Henshaw as like Nick Cutter. Like, I'd only be interested in that. But I probably still wouldn't buy it because there's so much coming out.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But I feel like with that premise, you can do a original one.
Yeah.
Like,
like Torchwood.
Yeah, like it probably could work in the same vein, couldn't it? Just maybe see which actors are interested in coming back and then give them their own standalone episodes the same way they did with Torchwood when that started off. Yeah, Ruth Bradley was also in Primeval as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was in towards like the later stuff, I think.
Last of the Summer Wine audios, Ben would probably buy them.
I don't think that would work on audio. It's a very visual show for like the comedy. It's very slapstick. I don't think you can do slapstick on audio.
It's certainly not ongoing. I think you could try a slapstick audio as a one-off.
Yeah,
but I don't think you could maintain it for very long. I saw a image that you probably quite like. I don't know if I'll be able to find it now.
Oh, is it like The Last of Us?
Yeah,
I saw it. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good. I did see that.
Yeah, I thought that would tickle you.
It did tickle me, but it needs Papa Pedro in it as well. Clone Wars on audio, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, they've already recorded some. Did you ever watch those?
No, no, I've been saving it because I don't want it to end.
That's fair. I mean, if you just tab out of that, it's an audio drama.
Yeah, literally.
Star Wars Big Finish audios, though your wallets would cry. I think they have done some. They've started doing some audio dramas, haven't they? Lucasfilm.
I don't know.
Big Finish, obviously, but
I mean, I don't know if Big Finish could afford Lucasfilm because I think Lucasfilm are quite greedy with the license.
Yeah, I mean, especially a Star Wars license. Like you compare the Indiana Jones figure prices to the Star Wars figure prices.
Yeah, especially with what you get as well.
Yeah, they do a bit of Lucasfilm tax on their Star Wars tax. But I mean, I'm not. I think as well with American brands, like even over there, they still get used to the idea of audio dramas.
Yeah, they did like a whole thing about, oh my god, there's this thing, and like
it's
dude,
a podcast, but it has a story to it. And it's like, yeah, that's existed for quite a while.
Like I find it amazing how sort of the British culture's radio dramas kind of ingrained, whereas America are just like, yeah, we just want to see it on screen and have visuals. Like, let's huddle around the wireless and listen to the Archers. Americans don't have that.
And it's like Audible originals, isn't it? That's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Like they did Sandman, didn't they? Quite a big cast. Yeah, I suppose if they were to do Star Trek, they could do what they've done with Doctor Who, make stories with the shows that have ended, the original series, Next Generation, etc. Although there's only 3 living cast members from the original series, so I don't know how they'd approach it. I suppose if they were to do the original series, they'd just approach it like they do for things like Space 1999 and UFO, just completely do a recast and sort of like a reboot, but in the spirit of the original time period and such. I mean, we did have some Star Trek stuff, didn't we? I think audiobooks. They did. So maybe there's an olive branch they can explore there. Fun fact, Mark 7 is a recast. Alan Cox plays him in Daleks the Destroyers. But is that canon?
Exactly. It's with Prisoners in Space.
Yeah, because that as well, and it's also got what's her name? And it's Jean Marsh as
Yeah.
Sarah Kingdom, but it's like not set before her death. If that makes sense, I think it's like not worked into the chronology of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she would have been in the series had it taken off, and probably not been played by Jean Marsh. They're probably some big name American actress. As someone who's looked up how other shows treat EU material, we're so lucky as Doctor Who fans that every story doesn't bend over backwards to fit into canon exactly, only to get contradicted. I think with Doctor Who, because it's such a sandbox, there's often a lot of room there for things to just exist and not be contradicted.
Yeah, it's got the most wriggle room, hasn't it? Because it spans, 60 years.
Yeah,
So
you've
there's a
also got
lot to
things like the
mine.
Time War and such, where you can just say, "Oh, well, it got erased from reality by that event, and now it's happening again," like with Mary Shelley and such. I mean, even on TV, there's a lot of contradictions. Like, the big one is Atlantis gets destroyed 3 different times, and it seems to be 3 different versions of Atlantis. So, when you've got things like that, it sort of makes when audio gets contradicted, it fits into that same bracket, really. Like, if Underwater Menace and Time Monster can both be canon, why can't The Silver Turk and Haunting of Villa Diodati both be canon?
Exactly.
Also, please tell me, Luke, you've watched unofficial recons of Underwater Menace and any sort of recons for Fury that isn't the shambles of an animation. I've watched the Fury recons that are on the discs, and they're all right. I haven't touched any Underwater Menace recons. I think hoping for good animation there.
Been waiting a long time.
I don't know. We had those rumors.
True.
Yeah. I know was it Rob Ritchie who confirmed that they were doing more just for that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, confirmed that the animation had new funding. So, what about Dad's Army on Big Finish? I suppose you could get the cast from those gold ones, couldn't you?
Yeah, you
And it's not
could
like
do.
Dad's Army hasn't been on audio before. They did some radio shows. Like some of them even adaptations of TV stories. But I think when it's a series like that and it's all written by the same creative team, it then doesn't feel right when you've got another writer taking that on after all this time. You know what's definitely canon? Interference. Ben, are you offended by that twist involving the Third Doctor's regeneration?
It was the 90s. It was a wild time.
That's our excuse for a lot of expanded media then.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I like the idea of the faction paradox. Yeah. I think that stuff's cool, but yeah, it's not the main canon.
No, it's just a nice little bonus thing to look at and go, oh, that's clever how they've worked that in. I'm not going to accept it, but it's clever.
It's that thing where as soon as you reach like your teenage stage, you're kind of looking about like all the obscure lore and like all that. So you kind of get fascinated. You go down like the rabbit hole, and then you get to sort of your 20s. You're like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
And it's fine.
You just accept these stories are here to be enjoyed in their own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that all we've got for tonight?
I think so.
Yeah, we've done our 10th Doctor tier list.
Yeah, we have
The good old
indeed.
natter on.
About Dalek Universe.
Yeah. And I mean, we've not even got any 10th Doctor stuff to look forward to at the moment on Big Finish, other than whatever he's doing in Once in Future, but like no details of anything to talk about what's upcoming.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. You're kind of itching for the next big Tenant thing, really, apart from Luther arc, right?
Yeah. I suppose thing is the next big Tenant thing is the 60th.
Yeah,
The next big Tenant thing's on TV. It's sort of
No, it's Ahsoka.
uncharted territory for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka, that's true. Or is what's Good Omens out before that?
I don't know. I don't think there's a release date for Good Omens yet.
No. I haven't watched the first one, so
Oh well.
have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
You're gonna be watching the second as well then?
Probably.
Yeah. Yes. It's something that I meant to at the time, but yeah, just never got around to. I've got Amazon as well, so I've got no excuse not to.
You got time.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's
only
good fun.
6 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's some cool Doctor Who Easter eggs in there.
Yeah, probably should get around to that at some point. Hopefully we'll get details on the next Warmaster and 2DA set soon. Oh, yeah, I agree. They're creeping up on us.
They are, yeah.
That's sort of our thing every week at this point, isn't it? Going, we still haven't got Warmaster details.
You're kind of waiting on Friday. Like Friday's normally like big news drop, and you're like, okay, this Friday's got to be coming.
Yeah, nothing today. Though. I suppose it's because it was the Anderson day. They wanted to keep all the focus on that and not sort of undercut it with Doctor Who news.
Sorry, Jacoby wins. I like Thunderbirds, but come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, 7th Doctor as well. Still nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with Big Finish, it's hard to tell what they're gonna do.
Oh, it's so random.
Yeah,
but I love it.
We'll be waiting for some 7th Doctor news, and instead we don't get the 11th Doctor Chronicles cover.
Yeah, it's like, it's Peter Davison's birthday. You can talk about his September box set. No, by the way, guys, December, there's a 11th Doctor Chronicles with the Sidemen. You should check it out.
Not that we're shitting on Doctor Chronicles at all.
No.
But it's just, it's a long way off. We can talk about things that are sooner, please. Yeah, I do wonder why they released details for Doctor Chronicles so far in advance.
Don't know. Yeah.
And I wonder if maybe they're going to be limited in November as to how much they can push these things.
Maybe with I can see that.
Yeah, and so they want to get them out there now so that people can get their pre-orders in. And then hopefully that balances out the money that they might lose later on.
But I'm sure they'll plug it hard when it comes to December.
Yeah. But man, it's great. That'll be coming out the same month as Ncuti Gatwa's first episode.
Yeah. Don't know what I'm more excited for, to be honest.
And I'm sure once the 60th rolls around and then that wraps up and we get a trailer for Ncuti Gatwa's first episode, we'll be well on the hype train then.
Oh yeah, we'll be hype.
In the Night Garden, Big Finish audio is just hours of Jacoby.
I'll buy it.
There we go. Oh. Anyway, I suppose that's it. Yeah,
that's it. That's another Friday done and dusted. If you've enjoyed this stream, please do like and subscribe for plenty more streams. We've got another couple of weeks planned, and then we've got to go back to a drawing board about what we're doing next.
Yeah, we got most of May lined up, haven't we? We know what we're doing for 3 out of the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just that last week. We'll have to figure out what we want to do then.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, that's it. It won't take us too long. We're not going to be there on the Friday morning going, what are we going to stream about?
What are we going to do? Yeah, we plan in advance.
Yeah. Some would argue too far in advance. I mean, I think we've been teasing certain things on here for ages that still haven't come out yet, for one reason or another.
But they will happen this year. They will happen this year.
We've got some stuff recorded that's yet to be released. We're just sort of getting enough bulked up,
so it can be a consistent thing, really.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Bye, Daniel Hager. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for a great stream. You're welcome, Stylish One. Thank you for sticking with us. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Joe Bowers. Always a pleasure having you all here.
And thank you, lurkers and people watching on replay. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll see you next week for a master tier list.
Don't forget to hit a like if you've enjoyed. Always appreciate it.
Helps us out so we can build and grow a lovely community of Doctor Who people.
Titanic anniversary tomorrow. The movie or the ship sinking?
Probably the ship, isn't it?
I imagine that'd be more noteworthy. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, if it is a film, then Leonardo's never going to watch it because it's going to be older than 25.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
The poor man.
Poor man.
I hope you enjoy whatever plans you have for the Titanic anniversary, Daniel Hager.
Yeah, enjoy. Hope you don't have plenty of ice, you know.
Yeah.
Glub, glub, glub.
Take care. Enjoy. Looking forward to the next stream. Thank you, Stylish One.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all there next week.
Yeah, for the master tier list. And
Any
you
hot
will
takes?
obey me and watch it.
Yes. Hot takes galore. I'm sure there'll be hot takes.
Oh, I imagine so. It's not a tier list by us if there isn't.
Exactly.
I think it's exciting going back to a TV Who tier list again because it's been a while since we've done one like that.
Yeah.
Where it's all the monster ones. And that should be fun.
Yeah. Always is.
I know it'll be like the Dalek tier list Stylish One. We shall see.
We shall see.
I mean, some of it's already out there technically because we've done, Third Doctor era tier list, and that's like the first 8 master stories. So, yeah, and then Regeneration Advent tier list as well. A lot of the master features in quite a few Regeneration stories. So, certainly for the master tier list, there's quite a few stories we've already given our opinions on a fair bit. But yeah, I imagine some other hidden ones away there might be a few hot takes.
Planet of Fire.
I'll have to watch that actually.
Okay.
I stuck it on a while ago when I first got the DVD. Watched 2 parts of it and was never able to finish it.
Okay.
So
That's your homework. I've
got Untapped Avo that I've just left lying around for ages and haven't touched.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil what I think of it.
Oh yeah, save it for next week.
I'll save it for next week.
But see you all then. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you and goodbye.